Hello, this is Christine with CocoaDaisy, and today I wanted to share with you my May planner setup using the CocoaDaisy kits. And I have a special guest with me today. Mr. Daisy is here with me today.
Hello.
Because Mr. Daisy is trying to gain some knowledge and some education about what his wife actually does. So we thought it would be fun to do this. So as I go through my planner, he is going to ask questions, and we're hoping that, because he's coming from a point of knowing absolutely nothing about planners, so we thought this would be kind of a fun exercise to see if this helps people who are new to planning, new to our product, and can kind of get a feel for what we do, and maybe his newbie-ism, is that a word?
Naivete.
There you go. Will help others. So
maybe a way for you to explain, you the customer, our planner folks can explain it to their husband when they don't understand it.
Right, when they don't get it. So I'm gonna just do my normal flip through. This month I am using a Vanda Spec. And I like the Vanda Spec planners because they are completely customizable. That's a true word. You can pick the leather on the outside, and it is real leather, so it's not a vegan friendly option, but it's real leather on the outside, real leather on the inside, and then you pick the stitching color as well. You can, to some extent, pick the pocket setup. And what I like about it specifically is that you can order larger rings. So when I have my big, huge, kind of over bulging planner, it gives me a little more room for that. So this month it is the blue and kind of this pretty kind of seafoam or minty blue to go with. I thought it went really well with the hydrangeas this month. So we're gonna jump into the pockets. And my pockets are, for the most part, aside from holding the notepad, completely for decoration and pretty stuff. I've tucked in a few ribbon clips, some die cuts, some tags, and two of the things that I wanted to mention, the tags that I have in here, one of them I made from the note cards, the journal cards or the note cards. So you get a few note cards in your planner add-on kit, and you get a set of note cards in the pocket memory keeping kit. And what I did is I took one of them down and just cut it into a tag shape, added a ring reinforcer from the sticker sheet, and that's one of my tags. The other tag is actually from our packing card that we ship out with your kit each month. And I cut that down and made a tag with that as well.
What else can those pockets be used for?
If you didn't want to do just pretty stuff like I have, you could use them to hold your extra stickers. You could have them hold any extra clips that you have. Other things that you could put in there are extra notepad sheets. You could tuck that into some of the larger ones. I would say mostly stickers and die cuts would be what you would, if you wanted to use it more utilitarian than pretty, that's what I would tuck in there. And the clip. So as some of you saw the post on our Planner Fans Facebook page, I talked about how Jeffrey we had received these magnetic clips. If you can see that, put it over the white. And the edge was just slightly bigger than it was supposed to be, and the buttons did not fit on top. So Jeffrey, being trained as a machinist in the thank you, U.S. Air Force. And he realized that what did you say, the burr?
It was the production burr.
Had not been completely taken off. So he spent 5 days grinding all of those down and hand fitting all of the buttons. So thank you, honey, for that. But what I wanted to point out about this new clip that's really cool is that it does indeed come off. So like for this month, we have the one that says now is the time. And then next month, you won't get another clip. You won't have to do more. You won't get another clip. You will get another button. But again, the button has the hollow back, and then you can just interchange the buttons each month. And we will have some of these extra clips in the store. So if for some reason you missed out on getting a one in a May kit, you'll be able to purchase some of these without a button, just the clip separately in the store. So I wanted to point that out. And now I'm just gonna page through how I've actually set up my planner. So normally I only have one set of the weekly stripe pages in here. I'm going to do a couple ideas for you. So I used the acetate overlay, added a tab, and then what I'm gonna use these pages for is I like to Sunday night or Monday morning, I'll sit and write out kind of the main things that are happening that week. So the big things. So I kind of know what days are going to be full and what aren't. So that kind of gives me an idea of helping me rearrange my week and kind of schedule my week coming up. And then what I've done on these pages, I've taken some of our older stamps, the little birds, and I've just kind of gone through and stamped a few things here and there. There was a stamp set in the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. I used that throughout the pages. And then to stamp the dates on, I used the stamp set from the Pocket Memory Keeping Kit that had the numbers. So that's where you see the numbers on there. And then on the back, I just did, this is again one of our older stamps, just so I can use the back side for notes or lists, kind of anything that pops in my head. So I'm just going to page through these and show you kind of a few of the things that I stamped on them. The bird stamps were super fun. And then we're going to come to the weekly pages. So we had the stripe pages that I use for scheduling, like main things. That's not my daily stuff. That's kind of an overview of the week. But we have the week on 2 pages or the weekly overview 2-page spread. And a lot of people do this is where they do their planning. They don't use the daily pages as much because they may not have to break down their day into as big of a to-do list as I have, or what some people do. So they just use the weekly pages. What I've been using these for is for my memory keeping in my Traveler's Notebook, or the Simple Dory from the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. Because what it's helping me do is keep track of what happens during the week. So when I have the time to work on the Simple Dory, I know what happened when. So for instance, like beginning May 1st, I'll jot a note on Wednesday of something that happened. You know, whatever it may be, like Zach had Chloe over, or you know, whatever. And then if I take a picture, I'll write a note like took picture, or I'll just write picture. That way I have kind of, even if I want to do special journaling, or if there's something someone said that I want to remember that I want to put in the Simple Dory, I'll have that all written out. So then when I have the time to work on it, I know what pictures I need to print. I kind of know what I want to work on or what I want to put in the Simple Dory booklet. So I just kind of pre-stamped those a little bit just for fun, again with the birdie stamps. And then on this page I haven't done one of these in a while. This is the little washi tape banner. And I wanted to do one. And I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. It's super simple. So you just have a piece of string. You fold a piece of the vellum washi tape over top of the string. And then you cut it down a little bit, cut that off straight. And then you just cut a notch into it like that. And then you just kind of space those out. And then I glue them on. I glue the string on with a little bit of white glue. And then I'll adhere the actual flags either with a little bit of foam tape or a glue dot. So that's how you make a little banner out of washi tape. So I'll just page through and show you some more of the stamping that I did. Again, using those cute little bird stamps.
Now, after the end of the month, when you go to set up for the following month and you're pulling all these pages out, can you turn those into memory keeping layouts? Is there a way to use those pages?
Well, actually, yeah. I mean, honestly, if you weren't using that's a good question, Mr. Daisy. Actually, if you were not using the simple Dory as a means of memory keeping, these pages are perfect for that. You could just include a small photograph like the little Instax prints. You could totally just add a few photos on here with a little bit of journaling, a few stickers. I mean, you can use the alpha stickers from the various kits. More stamping. You could do all of that. All the die cuts that come with the kits. You could add more die cuts in here. And then, I mean, honestly, you can create layouts right on these. So this could become your memory keeping section. You could totally
come into it would turn into a
like a little album.
A mini album.
Sure. If you saved these, if you pulled these pages out then
Right.
at the end of the month and then kept them all together at the end of the year, you could put them in a binder of some sort or like an older planner or one that you have, and that could become a yearly memory keeping. Yeah, that would be a great way to do that.
Because obviously each month it's different colors, different patterns.
Right.
So you would be able to at a glance know that by looking at that, oh, that was in May.
That was
you wouldn't
in
necessarily
May.
have to have a date on it. You would be able to look at those colors and go,
Oh, yeah.
it was in summer, or that was in fall, or that was
you could even, because of the way the pages start, so the pages start like this, you could make this into a cover. You could put a piece of patterned paper over this, or you could use one of the dashboards to cover it when you were done and actually make this into like a whole little mini album. So if you had a piece of patterned paper, one of the dashboards that we sell on the top and then one on the back, there's your whole little mini album. I mean, and look
for
at how...
that week or for that month.
For that month, yeah.
Okay.
That would be very cool. That would be very, very cool. So that is that section. And then we're going to go into the daily section, or actually the calendar section. So I use the printables. As I mentioned before, we have a set of printables, and they are free, and they're fabulous, and there's a ton of stuff in here, and I use them all the time. So you can see I cut out and I don't use them just the A5 size printable. I'll use whatever size I want from the printable because I like the various sizes in my planner. So this one is just kind of like an overview of what I wish my daily schedule was like. He's laughing. And then I did a little stamping on there. I added a few and you'll see this throughout my planner, are these gorgeous enamel dots that were in the pocket and the traveler's notebook memory keeping kit. So I have those throughout. And I think in an upcoming kit, because they're so gorgeous and I use them all the time in my planner, I think in an upcoming kit, we're gonna have them in one of the planner kits as well. So we've had people ask for that. But one of the things I wanted to mention about this is that you can see that I added a little bit more dimension. So I have the little dots on here, and I did a little stamping, the word daily, I stamped that on there. But these are actually from the printable. So I just cut these out and raised them up with a little foam adhesive, just to kind of give a little dimension on there. And then there were so many cute cards this month, I kind of added a few more than I normally do. And they serve absolutely no purpose other than the fact that they're just pretty. So those are in there.
Can they be used for other things other than just be pretty? Can they be offset? Are those stamped? Are they not stamped? Are they punched?
No,
Or
no,
do you
no. They
punch
come.
those?
No, they come like this.
Okay.
So
No hole. So you could use that, moving that up. You could almost use that as a tab out of the top.
yeah,
of
you
your
could use it
planner.
as a tab out the top. You can use it. You can glue it down and use it as like just an embellishment on one of the pages if you wanted to. You could just use the one side. Some of them are. Some of them have. You could use them as you mentioned this area. You could use them for journaling cards. You could cut them up. I've cut them up and used parts of them as art for like die cuts. So there's a lot of different things that you can use. You don't have to just use them as is. I like to just kind of tuck them in. And like the one instance I used it as a tag. I wanted to talk about the vellum. So there was a sheet of vellum in the main planner kit. And I wanted to try and find a couple ways to stretch the vellum, how you use it so you can get a little bit more out of it rather than just punch it and stick it in your planner. What is a couple other ways you can use it? So I created these pretty little butterflies by using, I have a butterfly punch, and I just stamped a couple butterflies right out of the vellum. You can see, yeah. And then I stuck them on. I just used a glue dot kind of in the center. That way I could kind of lift up the little wings. And then I used a couple of those enamel dots to make the little body of the butterflies. And then this is the other side of the calendar page. I just did a little stamping there. And then the calendar page, a few die cuts. These butterflies, you may recognize these. These are from May 2017. I had a bunch of them. I saved them. So don't throw away your stuff. I mean, don't hoard it. Obviously, I just did a big craft room cleanse, so you don't want to keep everything, but there's some stuff that you can save. So I knew that those would go, and I pulled those out and added them. Just a little bit of stamping. I'm going to be at the Planners Gone Wild convention in Vegas. Yay! That's coming up. And then, of course, we have shipping, and then I'll fill the calendar in with all the other shenanigans of our month. And then on the back side, I just added a few stickers. One of the things I wanted to mention, in the planner sticker kit, we get these planners that have kind of a set size. Don't be afraid to cut those down, because like this one that says May, I cut that down and that now fits in one of those squares. So don't be afraid to cut these. I've punched through these and made stickers out of them. You could use the same butterfly punch and punch through them and make butterfly stickers. If you're not going to be using them in the box form, there's no reason that says you can't do that. You could cut them into little strips and use them as border stickers. There's a lot of different things you could do with those. This overlay sheet is one that I had in my stash, so this did not come in any of the kits, but I just thought it was pretty. And then our daily pages, when you get the daily pages, grab a set right here. They start like this. So when you get your daily pages, obviously if you get punched or unpunched, mine come punched, and then it starts out like this. Well, they're not meant to be a single page. It's meant to be used as a double page spread. So this would be May 1st. So you end up with this kind of this rogue page. So what I like to do is actually cover it up. So I cover that up with either pattern paper or a dashboard. So I covered mine up with one of our dashboards, and then I added a few of the little enamel dots. One of the things that I thought about doing, but I ran out of time, was actually, and I did this before, if you look up, I think it's in November 2017, we did the succulent theme for the planners, and I actually stitched with some embroidery thread around the petals, and that looked really pretty. That was something I wanted to do, but I ran out of time. It's a little labor intensive. So then this is the beginning of the month, And I used that stamp set from the Pocket Memory Keeping Kit to stamp my dates. And then this is kind of the same setup that I have every month, but there's a few things on here that I wanted to show you. So again, this is one of the printables, and this is just kind of some to-dos that I know I have to get done this month. And there's a few little enamel dots on there, some of the Puffy Alpha stickers. And then on the back side, I have this clip. I covered it with patterned paper, and I used one of the stickers from the memory keeping sticker set. But this is kind of a nice way if I didn't have a pocket in the front to hold my notepad, which some of the planners don't have pockets set up that way, then I can always keep a couple of them handy. Also, if you don't want a lot of bulk in your planner, then you can just have a couple sheets and you can just clip them on there, and then you have a couple of notepad sheets if you need them. And then I made a large tag out of one of the 4x6 journaling cards and some patterned paper. And then I just added, no wait, I take that back. These are 2 journaling cards sandwiched together. I cut it in a tag formation or tag shape, added a few stickers and a few die cuts, and then it also holds a few sticky notes. So again, kind of try to keep everything handy but not bulky, because a whole thing of the sticky notes would add a lot more bulk than just a few sheets. So that's why that's in there. So that's not just pretty, it's functional too. And then some more of the cute little cards, because we like those. And this one's functional because it has my whole May calendar that's right by my day. So if I'm talking to somebody on the phone and I need a date, it's right there. And then my one little word, which is more than one word. It's my saying for the year, the go see do, because we're gonna travel. And then I made a pocket, and this I cut out using the silhouette. And this shape I've been using for probably, I don't know, 7-8 months now, and I really like it. So you'll see this probably in the last number of months in my planner. I just did a little stamping on the tab, added a cutout, and I'm not sure where this one came from. If it came from packaging, it may have been packaging, which is another great way to recycle your stuff. Yep. Here's a package.
You said you use the silhouette. Is that a free downloadable pattern that?
No, that one I had to pay for.
You had to purchase it.
I had to pay.
Okay.
I had to pay for that one. The cut files for the bookmarks that you see and the tab pages, like this size, are free, and we have those in our store under freebies. But here's an example of the packaging. You could cut this out and use this. You could make a tag out of that. You could cut out the flower and use it as a die cut. So it's a good way to recycle those as well. But I think this was on the tabs and die cuts package.
Repurpose, not recycle.
Repurpose, yes.
Repurpose.
Sorry, repurpose. And then on the front of this, I just took a couple of die cuts and I raised them up because it had this paper right here that you see was not part of any kit. This was from my stash. And then I just, because it had the circles on it, I used little circle die cuts on there. And then that holds my stickers. And then the bookmark. So the bookmark this month, I used, again, I think I used this. We had some overruns of this particular note card, which I really, really liked. So I used it in 3 spots. So in one spot, I used it on the bookmark, but I didn't like just the harsh line of like where it ended. So we had in the Pocket Memory Keeping Kit, we had a sheet of stickers that were border stickers. So what I did is I just used one of the border stickers along the top and the bottom just to kind of get rid of that harsh line. And again, some of my leftover butterfly die cuts, some of the enamel dots. And then on this side, I used a dashboard. But what I didn't, again, I had the same issue where the dashboard was gonna like fall weird and the flowers would get cut off weird. and it just was too harsh. I didn't like didn't flow right. So what I did is I used, you can see there's extra leaves here, and if you kind of squint, I don't know if you can see that, there's extra flower petals, and then there's an extra leaf up there at the top. So what I did is I cut those out of, I had some extra, and again, I talk about this all the time, is that this is artwork. If you don't necessarily use the daily pages, you can cut them down and use the pieces, the artwork from them. You can cut out like just this graph area and use it for notes somewhere if you want to. But what I did is I found a few spots that had some leaves and some of the extra flowers, and I cut those out and layered them to get rid of those harsh lines. So I like how that turned out. And then the daily pages.
And what was the charm?
Oh, that's my little llama. He's just hanging out.
And that's just on a simple paper clip?
Yeah.
It's not on a...
Yeah, it's just on a paper clip. Isn't it cute? That's just my llama.
Okay.
It's not there for any reason. That's
just to look pretty.
Just
Okay.
to look pretty, yes. That's just for pretty. And that's because I'm going to Planners Gone Wild, you know. So
Right.
we have to have the llama.
Be sure to check out the shenanigans at that.
Again, I had some more of this. This is from my stash. And I used a tab with the what's cooking. So this is the other way that you can use these stripe pages, and that's for meal planning. But before we talk about that, I wanted to mention the cool, awesome, it's the first time we've had these laminated bookmarks. These were in the classified planner kit. So you might not have seen pictures of these because it's in the classified kit. But so I just punched holes in that, and you get one of each. So depending on what size planner you use, you can even just use these in a book because there's no holes or anything punched in them. But I used it as a bookmark for my meal section. So my meal section, I'll just write down kind of what we're planning for the week. And then on the back, I'll write out my grocery list. So I know when I go to order groceries, this is the meals, and then this is my grocery list. And I had a couple of fun kind of foodie stamps. So I stamped those on there just for fun. So that is the meal section. And then this was just one of the vellum sheets. And this is how you can just use a vellum sheet just to tuck it in pretty, to use it as add a tab to it. I've seen people fold these in half and sew the edges and make them into a pocket. So you can make that into a pocket page. And then I added the little pom-pom fringe on the bottom. These are from our dashboard set, which you get the two sizes. You get the A5 and the personal size. And then I always use these to make my divider pages. So there's a dashboard on the front, patterned paper on the back, and then my little subdivider tabs, I just did the smaller size.
Is the ribbon paper clip, is that in the kit, or
No.
is that something you made?
No, this is all, let's see. Either everything up here on the top is either from my stash or past kits, or I've made. So yeah, I made that one. I should, maybe next month I'll show how to do those again. I did quite a while back. It's super easy. But yeah, so that's from my stash. And so you can just see, and obviously there's nothing in here yet because I haven't moved into May. So this was the other half of this vellum that I wanted to show you. So we had this, I used this part to, actually I think it's that way, to punch some of the butterflies. And then I had a strip left, and I was trying to figure out what to do with that. And I realized I could turn that into a tab page or divider page. It doesn't have to be a whole page, as long as you have enough to punch that it wouldn't hang weird. It's got to hit enough of the rings so that it doesn't hang weird. So what I did, and again, because I don't like harsh, abrupt lines, it's a thing, I took a border punch and punched along the edges, and then just added my tab on that. So that's for I have a little tracker that I have in my personal notes section that I will put in there. And then the goals section. So here,
Take two.
all right, so whatever reason the camera just shut off, so we're gonna pick up hopefully from where we left off. I was talking, you had mentioned the vellum, you can reuse that the next, yeah, you can totally, if you've not necessarily written anything on it or made it feel completely May-ish, you could cut it up next time, you can make that into a pocket or just use it again as a divider.
Or in a memory keeping layout.
Right, yeah, you could totally do that. I actually have a drawer or basket in my craft room where every month when I disassemble, things like this I put in that I might use again. And then my little goals page. And this again is from the printable. I added some of the puffy alphas and I used one of the border stickers as just kind of a little, almost like a little flag border. I just notched the edges on it. Added some patterned paper to the back. And then this is another way of using those pages that you don't necessarily use when you plan, but again, thinking of them as art. So instead of putting patterned paper on the back of the dashboard for my divider, I used one of the stripe pages because it's so pretty. I just adhered that on the back. So that's another way that you can use up those pages. And then some of you may not know what these are. So you get these in the kit and you don't know what they are. They are adhesive pen loops. So there's adhesive on the back of here and you can, I use a thick acrylic to adhere mine because then I can reuse this then. So any month that would have this color scheme, I could reuse this and just slip it in the back. So it's a pen holder and you just adhere that on there. If you have a thick piece of cardstock or even one of our dashboards would work to adhere that to. The overlay might be a little too weak to do that with, I would think. But so that's just an extra pen loop because I like to have a couple of them. So that is my main planner setup. And then I want to talk about a couple of the other products this month. So one of the things, instead of a pouch, a lot of months we have a pouch. This month we did this beautiful pen holder. And I've got so I've got 2 pens, a mechanical pencil, and a highlighter. So you could maybe squeeze one more in there. Might be a little too full, but there's 4 of them in here. So this is nice because if you have your pretty daisy pens and you don't want them to get scratched up, you can put them in the little pen holder and then put them in your pouch with that. And we kept it real neutral, so this is something that you can use every single month. And then I wanted to talk about the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. So we've been doing this for a few months now, and I wanted to share with you just one thing about that. And then I'll have a video up soon of my completed April booklet. So I'll page through and show you all the layouts that I did in the April booklet. But May is coming up, and one of the things that I wanted to show you is that some people have talked about they don't like the plain cover. If you just take that off, then you kind of already have a cover.
So that's not the embossed cover.
No, the embossed cover is only on the standard Dory.
Okay.
It does have the embossed CocoaDaisy on the back. They all have that. But you can just take this off carefully, and then I would just take a little X-Acto knife and just carefully cut in through don't try and just yank it. It would not be good. But if you don't like that, you can always, of course, decorate the cover with the papers that come in the kit, or die cuts or whatnot. But you can just take it off and you have a cover. And starting in June, the actual artwork will wrap all the way around. It will be the same. So right now you have like this stripe and this stripe. It will have the same artwork go all the way around. So it will look even more like a cover if you take off the craft cover. And then, so I have a couple layouts that I've already done in here, and those are included in the instruction sheet. So every Traveler's Notebook memory keeping kit comes with already printed out. You don't have to print it out. You don't have to download it. An instruction sheet from me giving you instructions on how to do 2 layouts, and then also a sketch to help you do a 3rd. So it's a great way to kind of jumpstart. And what I try to do each month is if there's something kind of different that some people may kind of not know how to use, or it's something new, that's what I try to highlight in the layouts. Like for instance, this month we had these vellum shapes, and I wanted to show how different ways that you could use those on your layouts. So both layouts use the vellum shapes. So that is the Traveler's Notebook memory keeping kit for this month, or the simple dory. That's not the whole kit, obviously. There's a lot of stuff in the whole kit. And then something new that I'm trying that a lot of you may already do, I'm just gonna lay this right on top, is the Happy Planner. So this is something new, and this is something I was showing you the other night. And I just got this, so I'm gonna start with May. So I'm gonna wait, so you won't really see anything finished in here, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit because a lot of you do your planning and then you include your memory keeping, kind of like what you mentioned on those weekly spread pages. That's what this is actually meant for.
Oh.
Is for memory planning. Memory planning, so, which makes you happy. That's why they call it the Happy Planner. So, so a couple of the things, so lots of stickers can be used in here. Our memory keeping sticker kit is designed to work in this type of format. So you will see the larger boxes which fit in these boxes. And it's a vertical format, which is different for me. I'm not used to like working up and down, so that's gonna be a little different. But what's nice is you can use, and I didn't grab it, but you can use the Instax will work, or if you use the, I think it's called a zip. I don't remember.
The other photo printer.
The other little photo printer.
Right.
I don't remember what it's called. But it prints out almost perfectly sized to these little rectangles. So you can do your planning. You can do, like we said, you know, write down a little journaling for the day, or if somebody says something funny or where you went, and then add a photo. So, and it's very condensed. And then when you're done, you've got, you know, the whole year in here.
Now you have an album.
You have a whole album. But the nice thing about the sticker kit is that, oh, I've got some of the planner ones mixed in here. I've got all of them in here. But there's also, in the memory keeping, there's also an alpha sticker sheet. So you can create some titles, or if you want to highlight a particular word for that day, you can add that in there. So I'm going to give this a try just for fun and see how it goes. So if any of you are Happy Planner people, and there's something in particular that you like as far as product wise for your Happy Planners, or that you would like us to include, put it in the comments below, because I would love to know, because this is all new for me. So I would love to know how you use them, and if you really like them, if you enjoy using some of our product in it, and what you use and so on, would be great. So I would love to know that.
Photos are always helpful because most of us are visual people.
Well, I don't know in YouTube comments, can you add photos?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Something to look into.
We will find out. Oh, and then something else I noticed as I was setting stuff up for this video is this little notepad that was in the pocket memory keeping kit, which I think, I'm hoping, I don't want to say this, but I think we have a bunch of these left over, and I will list them in the store, because seriously, look how cute that is. They fit.
Perfect sizing.
I mean, I think,
by happenstance.
Right. I mean, it's a little, I mean, hardly over the edge, but it just, how cute is that? So I'm going to use those in here too.
Now, where else are those little notepads? Are those those are in which kit?
Those were in the pocket memory keeping kit, but I think we have a bunch of extra ones left over. Because I believe the May pocket kit is sold out. But I think we have extras of these and I'll have Lydia put them in the store.
Have those been in other kits?
No, this is new.
This is just a new, okay.
Yeah, it was just in the May pocket
Just
kit.
in the May kit,
Yeah,
okay.
just in the May kit. But,
I was thinking if somebody had a stash of those from
No.
previous kits, because you cut them down and you were
well, you
instead of having
could,
the
you
full
could,
stack.
I mean, you could totally take like, this is the one from the planner kit, the circle one. You could totally take this and cut, how cute would it be if you cut it, like cut off part of the circle and like, that would be cute.
Okay.
That would be cute. I mean, you can always cut things down to fit. That's, you know, but now that I know that this size works so well, we may see more of these, just saying. So anyway, that is May, and we want to thank Mr. Daisy for being here and helping us.
Still trying to learn a bunch? Still got a bunch more to learn?
It's very nice of you, dear. So thank you all very much, and as always, leave any comments or questions down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And thank you for supporting CocoaDaisy. We love all of you, and we'll see you in a month.
Next month.
Next month.